Hey guys, I've been reviewing our Mirage scrims, and there was one round in particular that I think sort of typified all of our problems on CT side. So, and it has to do with rotating after. It's what's called the mid round. So there's the early round, which is where everyone's getting to their spots and deciding like what utility to throw, and there's the mid round, which is before the bomb's planted, but after the first people have died. So shit's going down, and people are moving around to sort of to react to that. So here's what happens in this round. Brandon is he's our mid player. I think this is when Savage was like AFK, or not AFK, when Savage was having computer problems. He's still in spawn. But anyway, Brandon's going to go connector, peek mid, Bushy's watching A, Point and I are going to go, Point and I are going B. It's pretty standard. One thing that I just noticed is that flash is not going to do Brandon a whole lot of good. That's more a flash. Is my volume on? Yeah. That's more a flash that like someone in Bushy's position would throw for Brandon, because you notice when Brandon comes out, no one's actually blind, even though it's a good flash. It's because that's not a flash you can throw for yourself. But anyway, that's not really important. Still the cheeks a little bit, which I mean I would have done because I would have expected them to Glock save, but they didn't. So they were able to kill you. You got one. And Point is smoked off. So at this point, we have no mid control whatsoever. At least we have ladder control, that's something, but we don't even have window control. So then they run up connector and 1D Bushy. And here is where it's a 3v4. We're on the CT side. Even though we have better guns, we are thoroughly outgunned. We're thoroughly outmanned anyway. And so here's what I did. I was holding B apps, and I looked at the radar, and I said, okay, we know they're rushing mid, so it's possible they could come out apps, but they don't. So I want to help with mid, so I have two options. I can either go, I'm in B site, I can either go catwalk, or I can go jungle. Now the benefit of going catwalk is that I can push with Point. The good thing about window is that I can kind of help Point, and then I can also get over to Savage if I need to, because I can go back around. Where if I'm here, I have to cut through connector or go all the way fuck off around. So I opt to go to window in order to help Point deal with mid. And I want to show you what Point does in this scenario. So Point is shooting mid, shooting. Whoops. And then I get to window. It's smoked off, but the smoke's fading. So I'm going to go connector. Alright. And here's where Point makes his error. So he's looking at connector. And he says, okay, I'm gonna go watch the apps. Oh yeah, I'll explain why that's an error. So yes, they could come out the apps, and they could flank Point. The problem is that I have committed to this fight in order to help him, and then he's left. So now what he has effectively done is he turned this 3v2 that we had between me picking window and him picking catwalk. He's turned it into a 1v3 with me in the window, and then him fucking off towards B. Now, in order to protect himself from the apps push, he could push in. Like his other option is to push up mid or push into the ladder room, and probably pushing into the ladder room is safer. But I'm going to show you how the rest of the round plays out. So he comes back here. and I'm stuck, so I'm trying to get away. I get a kill, and I manage to get away. And this is where, and then Point says, okay, I'm done watching B. I think so. Anyway, so then I decide, okay, Point's not going to help me out, so I'm going to go see what Savage is up to. So I sort of, I'm rotating between window and connector. Savage is doing a similar thing, and Point is so far away from the action. He's still on B. And here's something that I've noticed people do, at least with my spots, because I rotate around a lot, is if I leave my spot, they will pick it up, which completely negates the benefit of me leaving it. Like, the reason I'm leaving it is in order to stack something else. And then if you pick up my spot, then your spot's empty. Alright, so the second part of the round is, first rookie mistake is, if there are two guys jungle, don't peek stairs. First of all, because it's the easiest spot to get a pick. If someone's at default, they're going to be watching stairs half the time, or they're going to be watching CT or jungle or ramp like a sixth of the time, because it's the easiest place to look at without getting shot from anywhere else. So Savage gets his 1D and wants to go for another one, where if he had peeked, like where his body is now, right here, if he had peeked out from there, he wouldn't have seen anyone, but at least I would have been able to trade the kill, or I would have been able to peek with him, and maybe no one has to die. But if you peek stairs, someone's going to die. And so here's the second mistake, is the rotator. So Point was at B, they planted A, it's a 2v1 scenario, and so Point could do one of three things. He could go catwalk to connector, he could go CT to ticket, or he could go either ladder room to jungle or murder hole to jungle. Like, those are his options. And when you're in a 2v1, you want to stick together. So if he had come through here or here, that would have been best, because what you're doing is you're trading like amount of ground that you can cover. So like if you both come from jungle, you're not sure if he's ramp or CT, but in exchange, one, it's making you harder to kill, because if someone peeks, if say he peeks out ramp and he sees two people, or if he peeks out ramp and he sees one person, he's much less likely to get any kills. Much less likely to get any kills if there's two people, because of target confusion. Everyone's had that where they shoot right in the middle between people. So a lot of times, just by having two people there, you both get to live because you make him miss, because he's distracted. Secondly, if you both react to someone being there, even if you're slower than he is, if you both get 2 shots on target, it's a kill. With him low, each of us just needs to hit 1 bullet. But if we go separately, we each need to hit 2 bullets in order to win. Like, we're giving him 1v1s, which is because I'm stuck. In fact, what I should have done here is, if Point's going to go ticket, I should have fucked off and gone with Point, so we could push up together. So that's what I should have done, and what Point should have done is come with me. Especially because I've got him pinched in. I know where he is. He's default. So I'm going to show the rest from his perspective. See, he's looking at the stairs like everyone does. That's all. This is also a nice spot, although you got to watch out for ops at jungle, because you can be seen. That's what happens there. So Point got absolutely wrecked. It was funny, but because he wanted to come up separate. Like, I'm coming up this way. I'm trying to meet up with Point around the triple box area so that we can push them together. But I end up just needing to take the 1v1 once Point died, and luckily I had more health, than the terrorists, so I was able to win it. But anytime you put me in a 1v1 against someone where he knows where I am, like, I'm only gonna win 50% of those, maybe. Like, I probably win 45% of them. Where 2v1s, I bet we'd win 70% of them. So this round, it had, right at the beginning, there was, Bushy could have thrown a flash for Brandon. That probably would have helped him get another kill and maybe survive. Also, Point left his spot without telling anyone. Where like, if I'm leaving B, I don't remember if I said I was leaving B or not. Anyway, well, if you leave your spot, you should say something. And also, Point left me out to dry in middle. And then at the end, he left me out to dry in the retake as well. So the gist is, on this team, we stick together, and so that no one has to die, instead of taking many 1v1s and then either everyone dies or we have one guy left. Which is, if you watch our demos, that's probably the most common scenario, is when we win rounds, very often we have one guy left. Because instead of taking 2v1s, we take a lot of 1v1s, and we either win them or we lose them. But either way, we're dying a lot. And I think, anyway, it's not how you win games.